And an estimated 3 million people live with mental disabilities here in Ghana. Now, a recent study showed that Ghana had 41% prevalence rate of psychological distress in various degrees. The deficit in the treatment of ill persons in the country was some 98% and called for a holistic approach by government and other stakeholders to tackle the problem. We want to explore this issue further, and still because it's also relating to issues about the NDC General Secretary declaring one of their own as having a psychological problem. On phone now is Professor J.B. Asare. He is the chairman of the Mental Health Authority of Ghana. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Good afternoon, sir.
Great. Is it something we should be worried about or disturbed as a country, looking at the fact that 41% of the prevalence rate in Ghana has to do with psychological issues?
Well, it's something one has to be worried about, in the sense that we have a treatment gap of 98%. And we don't have enough personnel to manage our psychiatric cases, and there's not enough funds available. One has to be quite worried, and that is why the Act is about to address some of these problems in Ghana.
And if we have this much in terms of numbers of people who are having challenges clearly with their minds or mentally, what are the plans that can be put in place to address them?
Well, you see, psychiatric conditions or cerebral conditions, they vary. You have the moderate, severe, and very severe. And I think the 41% is, on the whole, most of us are having problems. There's no single person who doesn't have a psychological problem. And therefore, there is the need to have more personnel in the system, and also there is a need to have a focus on the decentralization of mental health care, which we are doing now, and we are training middle-level personnel as well as specialists to be able to take care of the problems of psychological and neurological conditions in Ghana.
Prof, if you would indulge me, there's this saying that I've heard a few times that many are mad, but very few are in tattered clothes to show that they are, clearly mad. How do you determine if someone has a mental challenge?
Oh, well, there are some that you not know unless you examine the person. But there are some that are so severe that the condition will give the person away. Like the person who is talking to himself, or the person who is walking as you described. But there are a lot more of people who are depressed, who, unless you get closer to the person, you will not see, you will not know. Or people who have anxiety, or have headaches or other related problems, that unless you examine them, they come to you with a complaint, you will not know. So there are a lot more people working in the community doing work, but then have problems that are not being managed.
All right, and my final question to you, Prof, would be that how often or how regularly should that individual go for psychiatric evaluation?
Yes, my brother, in Ghana, it's not part of our culture for people to go for psychiatric evaluation until, say, the person is going to look for a job and the job demands that he has psychiatric evaluation. It is good for people to go in for psychiatric evaluation. It's into at least once or twice a year, but then it's done voluntarily. Voluntarily, our act, Mental Health Act, is silent on voluntary reporting for assessment. But then we have voluntary assessment of people who have or think they have psychological or psychiatric problems. People who want to have advice in terms of their businesses, their relationship with other people. This one, the Act will take care of that. You can walk in and then ask that you have a problem so we can assess you and manage you. It's not regular for somebody to go and demand for a psychiatric evaluation and report without being referred either a court or some family members or workplace is irregular.
Okay.
Particularly if the person has to go with pressmen and people demanding. It's, that is irregular. It's abnormal, really. And let's not forget that there's no person in the world who is 100% sane. You see, we all have certain qualities that one can always put our fingers on and say that you are normal. We say we enjoy good mental health. When you are able to relate well with people, you enjoy life, and you're able to help people and feel useful to society, and also accept the way you are. You become mentally ill when you have problems in living, in thinking, you have the problems in perceiving the world around you, you are having some abnormal behaviors that you yourself feel that you shouldn't be doing that, you're talking abnormally and all that. So you become mentally ill when there are specific areas that one can put its fingers on to assess you. You have abnormalities in thoughts, your thinking processes. You have abnormalities in the way you perceive the world, like you have hallucinations, you hear voices when nobody else hears the voices. Or you have some abnormal beliefs that you are a greatest person, you are Shakespeare, you are the ambassador, you are the chief of your hometown when you are not. Or you are emotionally unstable, you feel depressed, you are not happy, or you are talking too much, or or you talk in a way that people don't understand what you are saying. You see, so most of these things will get you into the realm of mental illness, which have to be assessed. We also get people coming in for assessment on referral from court. You commit an offense and the court thinks that you may have a mental condition. Then the court will refer you for assessment and the report will be sent to the court. So you as a person, if you want to go for psychiatric evaluation yourself, it's a personal thing. It's confidential. You see, it's very confidential and personal. Then psychiatrist will assess you and will counsel you. If a psychologist needs to help you, he will refer you there to help. But with the moment you go to ask for a report and assessment in a way that is fanfare and all that, that in itself is abnormal. So this is the case that we are having problems with. Yes, so we don't exclude anybody from coming for assessment, but that has to be done in a confidential and personal way, and then the advice will be given to you. But if you want proper assessment, you have to refer from the court or from somewhere for you to be properly assessed.
Okay. We thank you very much, Professor J.B. Asare. He is the chairman of the Mental Health Authority in Ghana and has been giving us reasons why, at least once in the year,